True cowboys. The quintessential cowboy often conjured in our minds is a far cry from the reality. Rather than gun-toting outlaws, real cowboys were predominantly hard-working laborers dedicated to the demanding task of tending to cattle. Their lives were characterized by simplicity, toil, and a surprising amount of contentment. Firearms were more tools of the trade than weapons of defense, employed primarily for practical purposes like managing livestock. This stark contrast between the romanticized image and the authentic cowboy experience reveals a fascinating discrepancy between myth and reality. General George Armstrong Custer was a flamboyant and controversial figure in American history. Graduating last in his West Point class, he nevertheless rose rapidly through the ranks during the Civil War. Later, he became infamous for his role in the Indian Wars. His ultimate defeat at the Battle of Little Bighorn against a combined force of Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho warriors stands as a dramatic turning point in the conflict between Native Americans and the U.S. government. Sierra Nevada Mountain Trail. The Sierra Nevada mountains posed the greatest challenge for travelers venturing west. While the Midwest plains presented their own obstacles like rivers and bandits, it was the treacherous mountain terrain that truly tested the endurance and courage of pioneers. The rugged peaks, combined with the unpredictable weather, made the journey perilous. Wealthy travelers often hired armed escorts for protection from potential dangers, but even they were powerless against the unpredictable forces of nature, such as deadly rock slides. Pearl Hart. Pearl Hart was a Canadian-born outlaw who gained notoriety as one of the few female bandits of the Wild West. Inspired by the romanticized image of frontier life, she abandoned her conventional life to pursue adventure. After a brief stint as a runaway wife, she impulsively robbed a stagecoach in Arizona, marking the beginning of her short-lived criminal career. Despite her capture and imprisonment, Hart's story continues to fascinate due to her unconventional path and the stark contrast between her life as an outlaw and societal expectations of women in that era. Rufus Buck Gang. The Rufus Buck Gang was a notorious criminal outfit that operated in the lawless frontier of Arkansas and Oklahoma during the late 19th century. Composed of a volatile mix of Black and Creek Indian men, their actions were far from the romanticized image of outlaws often portrayed in popular culture. This gang was infamous for a string of violent crimes, including robbery, murder, and sexual assault. Their reign of terror was short-lived, however. Law enforcement eventually managed to apprehend the gang members, and justice was swift and severe. They were publicly hanged. Wild Western Man. A recent Kansas City newspaper featured a compelling image encapsulating the quintessential cowboy aesthetic. Central to this portrayal is the iconic wide-brimmed hat, often reminiscent of a Mexican sombrero. This headgear, however, was far from a mere fashion statement. It served a crucial practical purpose in the harsh Western environment. The expansive brim provided essential shade, shielding the wearer's face and neck from the relentless sun. This was particularly vital during the long, hot days typical of the American West. John C. H. Grabill. Born in Ohio but raised in Illinois, John C. H. Grabill's early life was marked by hard labor in the mines. His true passion, however, lay in capturing the world through a lens. After developing a keen interest in photography, Grabill embarked on a career that would immortalize the American West. Starting in South Dakota, Grabill made a name for himself as a chronicler of the frontier. His photographic explorations expanded to encompass Wyoming and Colorado, providing a comprehensive visual record of these untamed territories. Buffalo Bill's Cowboys. Contrary to popular belief, the gunfights showcased in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show were carefully choreographed illusions designed to entertain, not endanger. While the cowboys were undoubtedly skilled marksmen, their performances relied on the dramatic effect of blank cartridges rather than the lethal potential of live ammunition. Safety was paramount in these spectacles, and the use of real bullets would have been inconceivable given the close proximity of performers and audience members. Owning a gun in the Wild West. In the Wild West, a pistol was more than just a tool for survival. It was a potent symbol of masculinity, power, and social standing. Gun ownership was prevalent, and the choice of firearm often served as a visual marker of a man's identity. This was particularly evident in the realm of photography, where cowboys frequently posed with their pistols prominently displayed. These images were not merely snapshots, but carefully constructed self-portraits designed to project an image of strength, independence, and danger. Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson. Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson were legendary figures of the Wild West, known for their roles as lawmen and gamblers. Born in the same year, 1848, they shared a reputation for being tough and skilled with firearms. Wyatt Earp is perhaps most famous for his involvement in the OK Corral shootout, immortalized in the film Tombstone. Bat Masterson was also a renowned lawman who worked alongside Earp in Dodge City. Despite their tough exteriors, both men had a penchant for gambling. Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show was a spectacular traveling entertainment that brought the allure of the American frontier to audiences worldwide. Founded by William Cody in 1883, the show was essentially a circus featuring famous Western figures, thrilling stunts, and dramatic reenactments of iconic events like the Pony Express and Custer's Last Stand. Stars such as Annie Oakley and Calamity Jane added to the show's popularity. The Wild West Show toured extensively across the United States and even captivated audiences in England, performing for Queen Victoria herself. Hanging of Robber Tom Bell. Tom Bell was a notorious outlaw in the American West. Originally a physician, he turned to robbery after financial struggles. Known as the first to organize a stagecoach robbery in the U.S., Bell's gang gained notoriety for their audacious crimes. However, their luck ran out when they killed a passenger, sparking a massive manhunt. Cornered and facing public outrage, Bell was summarily hanged by a vigilante posse rather than facing trial, marking a dramatic end to his short-lived criminal career. Chinese laborers. The influx of Chinese laborers to the United States during the 19th century precipitated a complex interplay of economic and social tensions. Their willingness to accept lower wages and their capacity for independent labor organization made them desirable to employers, particularly in demanding industries like railroad construction and mining. However, this economic advantage fueled resentment among native-born workers who perceived Chinese immigrants as threats to their livelihoods and job security. Terry's Texas Rangers. Terry's Texas Rangers were a formidable cavalry unit that served the Confederacy during the Civil War. Formed under the command of Colonel Benjamin Franklin Terry in 1861, this elite group, officially known as the 8th Texas Cavalry, participated in over 275 battles across 7 states. Their reputation for ferocity and skill in combat earned them their iconic nickname. Despite their prowess, the war ultimately ended in defeat for the Confederacy, and Terry's Rangers surrendered alongside the Tennessee Army in 1865. Belle Starr. Belle Starr was a legendary figure of the American Wild West. Born Myra Maybelle Shirley, she adopted the alias that would make her infamous. Known for her audacious spirit and sharpshooting skills, Starr was as much a symbol of the era as the outlaws she associated with. While often romanticized, she was convicted of horse theft, a crime that contributed to her outlaw reputation. Her untimely death by gunshot in 1889 remains unsolved, adding to the mystique surrounding her life. Kit Carson. Kit Carson was a legendary figure of the American frontier. Born Christopher Houston Carson in 1809, he became synonymous with the rugged, independent spirit of the West. As a skilled trapper and guide, Carson played a pivotal role in exploring and opening up the American Southwest. His intimate knowledge of the land and his ability to navigate treacherous terrain made him invaluable to explorers and settlers alike. Carson's life was deeply intertwined with Native American cultures. He married twice, both times to indigenous women, reflecting the close relationships he forged with various tribes. Mining Money, Montana, 1889. Montana's mining industry in 1889 mirrored the harsh realities of the trade throughout history. The pursuit of valuable minerals came at a steep cost for the laborers. While mine owners reaped substantial profits, the miners toiled in perilous conditions. The subterranean world they inhabited was fraught with dangers. Collapsing tunnels, toxic fumes, and debilitating physical strain were constant companions. It was a life of immense hardship, where the promise of wealth often masked the grim reality of a labor force bearing the brunt of the industry's risks. 19th century move. The allure of the American West in the 19th century cast a powerful spell on countless individuals. Driven by dreams of land ownership, fortune, or simply a fresh start, pioneers risked everything to embark on the perilous journey westward. With no paved roads, modern conveniences, or reliable maps, these intrepid souls faced a gauntlet of challenges. From the scorching summer heat to the bitter winter cold, from encounters with hostile Native American tribes to the ever-present threat of disease, the journey was fraught with danger. Wild Bill Hickok. Wild Bill Hickok, born James Butler Hickok, is a quintessential figure of the American Wild West. His reputation as a deadly gunslinger has been greatly exaggerated over time. While undoubtedly skilled with a firearm, the claim that Hickok killed over 100 men is largely a myth perpetuated by his own self-promotion. The reality is likely far less dramatic. Despite the inflated legend, Hickok's name remained synonymous with the era, a testament to the enduring allure of the frontier. Buffalo Soldier. The term Buffalo Soldier is often mistakenly applied to all African American soldiers who served in the U.S. Army post-Civil War. However, it specifically refers to the 10th Cavalry Regiment, formed in 1866. The nickname was bestowed upon them by Native Americans, who likened their curly hair to a buffalo's coat. These brave men faced numerous challenges, including discrimination, while serving their country with distinction. Olive Oatman. Olive Oatman's life was a harrowing ordeal. At just 14, she endured the horrific massacre of her family by a Native American tribe in 1851. The sole survivor along with her sister, they were taken captive by the Mojave tribe, who tattooed their chins as a mark of their status. Her sister tragically perished, but Olive managed to survive and was eventually released. Her story is a poignant reminder of the harsh realities faced by pioneers in the American West.